I made it all the way to 2023 until I finally caught the COVID. After everything I've done in 2020, 2021, 2022, me chilling in my house in 2023 is how I get it. Sweet. I wanted to post a cinematography breakdown in the room I'm sitting in right now, but I ain't got it in the tank this week, guys, but I still wanted to post something. So I thought maybe I could use this time to maybe give what little insight I can provide from my time as a director and a cinematographer, and talk about the things that I really wish I knew as this young kid trying to go after something so ambitious. And it's just these three simple things that I managed to develop mentally, with who I am now, that, man, if I knew it back then, there were a lot of trials and tribulations I feel like I could have just skipped right over. But that kind of plays into the reality that just living this life and experiencing film and experiencing, people and your own issues outside of film, that's the stuff that gives us this knowledge and this wisdom. Experience is the greatest teacher. But that's not one of the tips. That's just a little freebie for you because I love you. First thing I wish I knew starting out is perfection is non-existent. Perfection is something I had a lot of friends and a lot of people, co-workers, family, whatever. It's something they constantly chase after. And some people really thrive as perfectionists. They're very thorough. But for me, and I think a lot of people in creative spaces, perfection is something you cannot afford to be chasing constantly. And the fact of the matter is, the more you think about what perfection is, the more you realize it's just not really a thing. You could spend hours, days, weeks, months, a year on something like a short film, a spec project, even your friggin' reel, only to come to a conclusion that although it is perfect for you, that doesn't mean the person you're showing it to thinks it's also perfect. Perfection is completely subjective in most cases, especially in our line of work. That's just a matter of fact. Rather than seeking things like perfection, I started to seek other attributes that brought me a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction in what I'm doing. And it combos into this simple solution of, if I'm not chasing perfection, then what am I chasing? Well, am I able to watch what I'm making as a viewer? Is something that I'm making actually something that I would sit down and turn on the television, pop on Netflix and be like, yeah, I'd watch this? Because if you don't get that sensation, then that's probably a sign of, you need to change something. And in that, somewhat futile pursuit of perfection, you find yourself being more satisfied by things like matching your scopes, matching your color spaces, or hitting this like fine-tuned, clinical clarity in your imagery. But that's not why we watch movies. That's not why we get so caught up in these camera tests and these film reels and this awesome shit that people are doing. It's just not why we do it. Hell, some of my favorite movies have friggin' noise in the background. Go watch Arrival on a big screen and tell me there isn't a little bit of digital noise happening in some of the corners and the tents. Go check out Children of Men and you can see that there is a lack of perfection there because they were going for a docu-style kind of movement. And then even look at my films, there are clear mistakes in them, but the tonality and the feel is there. Perfection is definitely not there, but I genuinely don't care. The feel I'm going for is there. A sense of enjoyment evokes when I watch it, and once I hit that level of enjoyment as a viewer, I know it's something that I'm comfortable with putting out. So don't chase perfection, just chase a sense of happiness and fulfillment in your work, and try to hit that median space where you can sit down as a viewer and watch it and be happy. Or just release the damn thing to the world and let the internet decide. I guess I've also been told nothing's ever finished, it just gets released. Second thing I want to say is that luck is relative to effort. Filmmaking in general, to hit that point of success, yes, there is luck involved. That's just something you have to come to terms with. Because there are plenty of people that make the best, that make the coolest stuff, but they're not near the career success of somebody further along in their field. But the fact of the matter is, the person that's probably ahead of you in your field probably has been willing to put themselves out there more. It's the fact that the more effort you put forth, the more that range of luck expands. This is a really simple one. I'm sure this is something you've heard before, but I think it's something people need to realize. Because I think some people that watch these videos, they go into their editing room and they just think to themselves, I just need that one lucky viewer. I just need that one email, that one Instagram DM to just set everything forward. But it's not coming. At least it's not coming if that's all you believe. This is where a sense of bravery and a willingness to failure really comes into play. And that's why spec ads have become so popular nowadays, because it's just free candy. It's just an easy excuse just to go out there with your camera and try to make something at your fullest potential. That's why I've been on such a binge right now of making short films and spec work, because I'm just building the portfolio. I'm just simply trying to increase my luck, increase my chances, that's all. It's like a better version of gambling, but instead of gambling with your money, you're just gambling with your time and your ego. That's really it. And the last thing I want to put out there, and this is something I think everybody entering this field needs to realize, the second they pick up a camera. And that's just because you're in a creative field, you're in something, so unique and ambitious as filmmaking, that does not make you the end all, be all, whatever. That doesn't make you the top priority in other people's lives. This is, all in all, another field of work. It's another career path, just like anybody else can pick. It is no different than somebody deciding they want to go pursue being a nurse, pursue being an accountant, whatever. It's just another field of work. It's just sometimes we get this idea in our head that because our field of work is dependent on audience reaction, that we kind of put ourselves on a pedestal sometimes, or the ego really steps in. You know what, I'm gonna just combo this tip right here, bonus fact 4, check ego at the door. Nobody needs ego, nobody wants it. In fact, it's probably gonna be your biggest enemy. It's gonna be the thing that stops you from working with other people because you think you either know more, or you want more, or you just think you want more than them because you're a filmmaker, so you're clearly ambitious, you clearly have a drive, a sense of passion. But why can't anyone else? Why can't the dude setting up lights or just doing power or doing crafty or a production assistant have as much passion as you? Just because they're not the one making the images. Just saying. Where was I? Shit, that was a tangent. Rewind. See through the COVID, Davis. See through the COVID. What were you just talking about? Right, you're not important. Shit, wait. No, but for real, I think once you have that really liberating thought, and I know I've talked about this before, but it's just so important to me. Once you have that realization, it's so liberating to just keep doing what you're doing, to foster better relationships. And more importantly, why I say this tip, it's to foster the relationships you have outside of film too. I have plenty of friends that are not my filmmaking friends, and I have plenty of friends in filmmaking that are, in fact, they're just my friends. I can hang out with them and feel a sense of belonging without a camera or a lens or anything being nearby. Just us at a bar, shooting the shit, having a good time. Or I'm able to realize that my need to make a feature script, my need to complete these big, awesome projects can't trump out like me making sure I go home to go visit my family, making time to cuddle up with the fiance and go watch some Great British Baking Show on Netflix for a few hours. And trust me, those are good times. Give it a shot. If you haven't cuddled up with a loved one and watched some Great British Bake Off, give it a shot. I'm telling you, it'll open your mind to a new sense of happiness and a need to make homemade cakes. If you're digging the music you're hearing throughout these videos and through the past couple videos I've done, you should check out the link that I got below in the description. It's a link to Track Club, and if you use that link to sign up for Track Club, you're gonna get a whole month free to utilize the website and their growing library of music. The big reason why I'm a big fan of Track Club is not just because the music's dope, because I do think the music's dope. I was using them before they ever gave me an affiliate link. I like them because they got this little mastering functionality with it, so you can go into a song and before you ever download it, you can already mess with, do I even want these drums happening in the background? I can just zero them out. Or, ooh, these vocals are dope. I want them louder. I really enjoy how clean the process is using Track Club, and I just dig the music. So hit that link below. It helps me out if you do it, and also you get a month free, so, how bad can it be? All right, sponsor time over. Let's get back to it. Since you made it to the end here of this little TED Talk, I want to talk about a little bit of the road ahead for the Six Shop and the channel, because there's a little more structure coming and there's some big stuff on the way. One, right now I am in the process of completing my feature film script. I wanted to make a more proper announcement, and quite frankly, I still am. I just wanted to let you guys know that, because as we move along with the pre-production of this movie, it's going to be a big part of this channel, so that you can see the ins and outs of what it's like to make something like a feature film without the backing of a studio. What's also next is, judging by the polls and the comments, a lot of people have been wanting more cinematography breakdowns. They've been wanting more stuff that actually is, I guess, how-to and tips in a practical sense. So you see this room right here? This is going to be stage number 1 for doing more cinematography breakdowns from scratch. We're also going to utilize our short films that we made, the Gray Sea, the Chevy Spec ad, and of course the newest one coming out, which is coming out mid-July. We're still honing in that date. Mid-July, we got one more short film coming out called Herself. And that one we shot a ton of behind the scenes for, so we're gonna have a lot of great content for that, for people wanting to see what it's like to make a short film in a minimal amount of time. Oh my God, that was stressful. Pretty sure we were gonna get mugged that day too, but hey, stay notified for that friggin' video. That's gonna be fun as hell. I apologize for not pumping out a more built out video this time around, but I wanted to stay consistent with the posting. I wanted to make sure I got something to you guys, because I like the little audience and the community we've built right now with the Six Shop. I love getting to the comments. You guys make a great conversation. Thank you again for everything you have done to help build this channel and to help build this sense of community that we're starting to get. Because the more I do this, the more I realize what I want the Six Shop to be. You guys have been a big part of that. Subscribe, bell, notifier thing. I'll do all that, because it makes me happy when I inevitably hit the YouTube Studio app and with all the click rate impressions. Because I'm a slave now. Hey Rhea, come here, girl. The audience needs you, girl. I need you. I'd like to see more comments about my dog, please. Because she is the love of my life. Okay, I'll leave you be. Alright, y'all. See you on the next one.